Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial I'm going to be showing us how to cut and sew a baggy crop shirt with a collar. I'll also be showing us how to go about a long shirt. So if you want to make a long shirt, you can watch this video. If you want to make a cropped shirt, you can watch this video. So this is the result of how our shirt is going to be. And if this is what you're interested in, let's get started with the tutorial for today. So I have 2 yards of my Adire fabric here. You can use any fabric of your choice. And because my chalk is not going to be visible on this fabric, I'm going to be using a pattern paper so we can see it clearly. So I'm going to be folding my fabric into two first. Then I'm going to draw a straight line at the top. So our measurement is going to be starting from this line. Then from the line now, I'm going to come down to mark my apex, that is my nipple point, of 10.5 inches. So my nipple point is 10 inches, but because it's a baggy shirt, I'll be adding half. So I'll be marking 10.5 inches and my half length of 17 inches. I'm going to mark that out. Then I'm also going to mark my blouse full length. So this method is going to be for a long blouse. So it's also for the crop blouse, but if you're making a long blouse, you can measure your long blouse length. If it's a crop blouse, you can measure your crop blouse length. So I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus 4 inches because this is it has an extended shoulder. Next, I'll mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 4 inches because this blouse is a baggy blouse. So I'm adding 4 inches for ease. Then I'll connect what I have on my shoulder line to draw my armhole curve. I'm going to draw it and connect it to meet my bust, the measurement I have on my bust area. So I'm going to measure all I have on my apex line. I'm going to move it to the hem of my blouse. Then I'll connect it using a straight line. This is a very baggy shirt, so I added 4 inches of ease. Now on the shoulder line now, I'm going to come down with 1 inch to mark our shoulder slope. Then on my neck, for my neck width, I'm going to be marking 3 inches. 3.5 inches for my neck, 3 inches for my neck width, and I'll come down with 1 inch. So this is the back. We're going to be cutting the back of our shirt first before we cut the front. Then I'm going to draw out our shoulder slope like so. So the depth of our back is 1 inch and the width is 3.5 inches, or 3 inches rather. I'm going to cut out our pattern. And on the neckline, I'm going to be leaving ½ inch for seam allowance before cutting because this is our fabric. So if we're cutting a longer shirt, we are going to be adding 2 inches at the bottom for folding allowance. And you can see I left ½ inch on the neckline because we're cutting on our fabric. Now I folded my fabric again into 2 so we can cut our front piece. I'll draw a straight line. So the line is not so visible. So I measured 2 inches from the center front. Then I placed my back pattern on that 2 inches line I marked. Then I'm going to be coming down with a depth of 3 inches for the front. So the depth of our front piece is 3 inches and the width is 3 inches. I'm going to connect it. So we're going to cut our back first. I'm going to cut out the neck now, leaving our ½ inch for sewing allowance. So this is what we are having. I'm going to label the back sides. I'm going to open it up now, and this is what we're having for the front. Then the back, you can see the back is on fold. It is not separated, but the front is open because this is a button down shirt. I'll close up the side now with 1 inch. I'll close the shoulder with ½ inch. I'll close the other shoulder with ½ inch and show us what we have. So this is what we are having here. I've closed the side and the shoulder. Now the pattern, the center front where I left 2 inches, I'm going to be using my chalk now to mark the 2 inches all the way. So this 2 inches is going to be for our button plackets, for our plackets. I'm going to draw the 2 inches, connect the points together. I'll do that for the other side. Then I'm going to iron stay on that 2 inches point I marked. You can see. So now I'm going to be folding in. I'll fold with 0.75 first, after which I'm going to fold again till it touches that 2 inches mark I drew out. So I'm going to fold with 0.25 first, then fold again till it touches that 2 inches part I marked. Then I'm going to sew at the tip all the way to the hem of my blouse. I'll sew at the tip. So this is our placket. I'll do that for the other side, and this is what we are having. So this is where we're going to be fixing our button and the buttonhole. So this is it. So this is it for our long blouse. So if we're working with a short blouse, we're going to mark where we want our blouse to stop, and I want my blouse to stop on my half length. So I'll mark for my half length now. I'm going to be marking 2 inches for seam for folding allowance. So you can see what we're having. So this is our full shirt. So for the crop now, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to fold my fabric like so, then place my pattern on it and cut out. So if you want a crop shirt, you can just do this instead of adding more layers to the down. Then I'm going to hem the lower parts of my blouse using the 2 inches I added. Now to fix our collar, I'm going to measure what I have round my neck line. I'll measure from one point all the way to the other point of my neck line. I'm going to measure this twice so that it is very accurate. And whatever I have, I'm going to be marking it, drawing out my collar. So I am having 8.75. I'm going to be marking 8.75. That's 17.5. I will draw out a straight line. So this is for our collar. I'm going to get the midpoint of that 8.75. So this is on fold. When we're cutting on our fabric, we're going to cut it on fold. I'll get the midpoint. Now on this side, I'm going to go up with 0.25. I'll connect that 0.25 to meet that midpoint, like so. Then I'm going to mark 1 inch all the way. So this 1 inch now is going to be for our collar stand. I want our collar stand to be 1 inch long. So I'll mark 1 inch all the way. So this is it for our collar stand. Then I'm going to go in at the side, this side here with 1/2 inch, so I can make this curve like so. And this is what we are having. So I'm going to fold my pattern paper. So let's take note of this, please. I'll fold my pattern paper like so and trace out the top line. This line here, I'm going to trace it out so it appears on the other side of the paper. So we need this line so we can determine the curve of the lower part of our collar. So I'm going to draw it out, and it's stopping where the curve is starting on the collar stand. So for my collar, I want my collar to be 1.25 inches at the center of the collar. Then I want the hem here to be 1.5 inches. So I'll mark 1.5 inches for my collar. I'm going to mark dotted lines up. Then from the tip there, I'm going to go out with 1/2 inch and connect back to the starting point of my collar. You can make yours more than 1/2 inch, but I don't want it to be too pointy. Then I'm going to connect the 2 points like so. So you can make your collar higher if you want a bigger collar, but I'm just working with 1.25 for my collar. So I'm going to be cutting out. So I'm going to measure, I'm going to mark the up, the down, and this side is on fold. I'll cut my collar now. I'm going to label the up, the side unfold, the down. So I'm having my collar here and I'm having my collar stand. So I'm going to iron stay on my fabric here and add my seam allowance of 1/2 inch round this pattern. And you can see the center back is on fold. I'm going to be cutting 2 pieces each of this collar and collar stand, because one is going to be the lining and one is going to be the main fabric. So I added my seam allowance of 1/2 inch, the up, the down, and the side, while the center back is on fold. So this is what we are having. So I'm going to notch the center part now. I'll notch both the up and the down. And this is my collar here. I'm going to open it up like so. I'll place it together, then sew with 1/2 inch like so. After which I turned it out and gave it a good ironing. I'm going to notch the collar stand also, the center part. I'll open up one piece of my collar stand and place my collar like so. Then use the second piece of my collar stand to close up the collar and the other collar stand. So the collar is in the middle of my collar stand. Then I'm going to sew with 1/2 inch and iron. So this is it. I've ironed and you can see the opening we have here. This is what we are having for our collar. Now to attach my collar to this shirt, I'm going to be getting the midpoint of my neckline here, so that we can attach the midpoint of our shirts, the neckline on of our shirts. I'll be attaching the midpoint of our collar together. So midpoint to midpoint, I'm going to place it like so, and I'm sewing first from the front of the shirt. So this collar now is placed on the front of my shirt. I'm going to pin the collar all the way to the end, then sew with 1/2 inch. So this is what I have after doing that. Then from the inside, the wrong side of my fabric now, I'm going to fold in about 0.25 inches of my collar, then pin it. So we need to pin this all the way, so that by the time we turn it to the right side, we're going to sew in this joining here, so our thread is invisible. So I'm going to push it in and pin all the way, then turn it over and sew in the joining we are having there, so that it gives a neat finishing. And that is what we are having. You can see our collar came out very well. Next, I'm going to be marking out our sleeve. I'll first of all measure what I have on my armhole, and I'm having 10 inches. I'll fold my fabric into 4 like so. Then I'm going to be going with a fabric length of, the length of my sleeve is 10 inches plus 2 inches for allowance, for folding allowance. So I'll mark 12 inches. Then I'm going to draw my armhole curve of 10 inches plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then I'm going to, this hem now, I'm going to mark 8 inches. So I marked 10 inches at the hem too, but I later shaped it to be 8 inches because the 10 inches was too big. So on the hem, I shaped it to be 8 inches and the armhole is 10 inches. So I'll take it to my machine now. I'll mark the wrong side. I'll close it up like so. I'm going to roll the down first. I'll roll the down of my sleeve, after which I'm going to fold it like so and close up the sides with 1 inch. Then attach it to my blouse, and this is what we are having, guys. Our blouse came out so well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye.